Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're uncovering a totally time-efficient, scientifically backed blueprint to burn fat, build some serious endurance, and literally transform your metabolic health. I mean, if you feel like you're putting in hours and hours at the gym but just not seeing the results you want, or, let's be real, if you simply don't have hours to give in the first place, you are in the exact right place. Okay, let's dive right into this by addressing the elephant in the room, hitting that frustrating fitness plateau and just running out of time. A major reason people throw in the towel is this outdated belief that a good workout requires a full, uninterrupted hour of your day. But actually, research from sports science frameworks tells us a totally different story. By combining high-intensity interval training, HIIT, with a nutritional strategy called carb cycling, we get the ultimate solution. It delivers maximum results in literally half the time.
So, here is our game plan for today. First, the HIIT and nutrition blueprint. Second, safety and preparation first. Third, master your nutrition macros. Fourth, the 7-day program breakdown. Fifth, pro tips for consistency. And finally, beyond the 7 days. All right, Section 1, the HIIT and nutrition blueprint. Let's look at the science from a wide frame so we can really understand the broad concepts at play here.
Our very first pillar is high-intensity interval training. HIIT involves these repeated bouts of intense effort. We're talking working at about 80 to 95% of your maximal heart rate, followed by varied recovery times. And the science behind why this works so incredibly fast, it's fascinating. Because of the really vigorous, contractile nature of HIIT, it triggers something called EPOC, or excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Basically, your body spends the next 2 hours completely restoring itself, burning 6 to 15% more calories long after your workout is actually over. You're getting continuous endurance benefits, but in much, much shorter time frames.
Now, we pair that physical intensity with our second pillar, which is carb cycling. This creates what the Nutrition Institute calls metabolic confusion. See, when you sit in a long-term calorie deficit, your metabolism naturally slows down to protect you. It's just doing its job. But by cycling your carbohydrates, eating higher carbs on intense training days and lower carbs on rest days, you totally prevent this sluggishness. You are quite literally teaching your body to burn carbs efficiently for peak performance and then burn stored fat efficiently when you're just resting.
Moving on to Section 2, safety and preparation first. Because before we zoom into those intense intervals, we absolutely must establish some firm safety protocols.
Since HIIT really pushes your cardiorespiratory system to its absolute limits, you've got to review the Physical Activity Readiness Questionnaire, or PAR-Q. Ask yourself, do you have a history of heart conditions, any chest pain, dizziness? Are you on blood pressure medication? Now please remember, this explainer provides general fitness guidance. So if you answer yes to any of these, or have conditions like uncontrolled blood sugar, you absolutely must consult a healthcare professional before starting. Safety is always the priority.
Assuming you are cleared to exercise, you can't just, jump straight off the couch into an all-out sprint. You really need to establish a base fitness level first, with a few weeks of consistent, moderate aerobic training just to prep your oxygen transport system. Plus, every single session must include 5 to 10 minutes of light aerobic warm-up to increase that blood flow, followed by a structured cool-down so your heart rate drops safely.
All right, Section 3, master your nutrition macros. Let's zoom in a bit and see exactly how to fuel up for these intense sessions.
So you basically have two distinct modes of eating. On high-carb days, your fuel comes from complex carbohydrates. Think oats, quinoa, sweet potatoes, and fruit. The goal here is to replenish your muscle glycogen so you have fast fuel to maximize your workout performance. Then, on low-carb days, your focus shifts directly to fat burning. You lower insulin by cutting out those starches and relying instead on fibrous veggies, leafy greens, and healthy fats like avocado and olive oil. This signals your body to tap straight into stored fat for energy. And the actual application of this is incredibly simple. Seriously, forget obsessive calorie counting, which, let's face it, usually just leads to burnout. Instead, we use a visual plate guide. On a high-carb day, half your plate is complex carbs. On a low-carb day, half your plate is fibrous veggies. But notice the anchor here, 25% lean protein. Your protein intake must stay high and consistent every single day. That is absolutely crucial to manage hunger and actively preserve your muscle mass.
Section 4, the 7-day program breakdown. This is our close frame moment. Let's get right into the exact daily plan.
Here is your beginner 3 to 4 split. You've got 3 high-carb days and 4 low-carb days. And the rule is brilliantly simple. match your fuel to your function. You align your 3 high-carb intake days exclusively with your intense HIIT sessions on days 1, 4, and 7. Then on days 2, 3, and 5, you're doing light activity like walking or maybe some yoga and eating low-carb. Day 6 is a full passive rest day, which is also low-carb. This structure perfectly prevents the molecular interference of trying to do way too much at once, giving your body that necessary 48 to 72 hours of recovery between those high-intensity efforts.
So let's look at what those HIIT days actually look like in practice. You don't need any fancy equipment. Body weight moves are completely perfect. After a 5-minute warm-up, you do 30 seconds of intense work, like squats, push-ups, or jumping jacks, followed by 15 seconds of active recovery, like just marching in place. You repeat this circuit for about 20 minutes. And how do you know if you're working hard enough? Just use the talk test. During that 30-second work interval, it should feel hard enough that carrying on a conversation is very difficult.
Now, during your rest periods, active recovery, like a slow jog or walking at about 40 to 50% of your max heart rate, is highly recommended over just sitting down. Keeping the body moving at a low intensity keeps your blood flowing, which actually helps clear out metabolic waste from your muscles and perfectly prepares you for that next intense work interval.
Section 5. Pro Tips for Consistency. Let's step back slightly and look at the habits that will keep you from burning out.
2 to 3. That is the maximum number of HIIT sessions you actually need per week. Because HIIT is just so exhausting to your metabolic pathways and causes micro damage to muscle fibers, adding more than this will very likely lead to overtraining and injury. Remember the golden rule here. More is not better, better is better.
Let's look at how this builds your daily habits. Nutrient timing? That's your secret weapon. You want to eat complex carbs 1 to 3 hours before your workout, and then within 30 to 60 minutes post-workout, consume protein and carbs for muscle synthesis. Also, hydration is rigorous here. You need to drink 16 to 24 ounces of fluid for every single pound of body weight lost during training. Finally, prioritize your sleep to heal that muscle microdamage, and use simple food swaps, like trading regular rice for cauliflower rice, to easily match your daily energy needs without overthinking it.
Section 6, Beyond the 7 Days. Finally, let's pan the camera back out to the widest frame and look at your long-term path.
As the old saying goes, consistency matters way more than perfection. You don't need heavy weights to get started, you literally just need to show up. If you stumble on a meal or miss a workout, don't throw the whole plan away. Building a resilient, flexible metabolism is really all about building sustainable habits that keep you moving forward in the long run.
As you conquer these first 7 days, I challenge you to think beyond them. As you get stronger, you might change your intervals, add some weights, or adjust your carb ratios. So the ultimate question is, now that you have this scientific blueprint, how will you adapt this cycle to demand the absolute best from your body for years to come? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and good luck on your journey.